we're back. My name is Harry Tambot. We've got Johnny Chang, and we also have Leon Peralta. Johnny, what were you showing right before we went off? Ano itong...
Ito yung first 3 hours na lumabas sa Channel 5. Yung May
okay.
13 na election.
All right.
Biglang nawala lahat ng boto namin.
Okay, there you go. There's the picture. Paano nawala?
Biglang nawala. Pumasok ang PPCRB sa Comelec, tapos biglang nagkamali daw sa Quezon City.
Isa pa yan si PPCRB. Ano tingin mo dyan sa PPCRB, Leon? Ikaw? Tiwala ka dyan kay Henrietta de Villa?
Alam mo,
Ewan ko sila, rarara, sisbumbake,
meron silang
brillantes
sinasabi nila na one good vote ngayon eh.
Oo,
They will
nakita ko yun,
concentrate
nabasa ko
sa
yun.
education daw. They want to educate the people not to sell their votes. Hopefully, they would succeed. Kasi hanggang ngayon, di ko sila nakikita na sa mga community. Paano nila maita-transfer yan into right education sa tao? Hanggang ngayon, di pa sila kumikita.
So, ano lang yan, parang yung Peace Council.
Oo.
In less than 13 days, nagawa nila yung voluminous na report nila without leaving the comfort of Manila, pero umikot daw sila.
Paano mo maiikot yan? Kulang na oras sila eh. Yung sinasabi lang one good vote.
Hindi, magagaling naman sila eh.
Nagdadoubt ako.
Let's go to China. Saan ka ba talaga papunta? Yan, hindi natin maintindihan eh. Ano ngayon itong issue natin? Alam mo, lumalala itong China, di ba? Because the Spratlys, the chain of islands, in the last 5 years, they've built up. And only this week, a surveillance plane from America, nag-uudyok na rin yung Amerikano. Obvious. The pivot to Asia is not correct. There is an intention, but the American pivot to Asia is half-hearted because Barack Obama is really not doing it. They have too many problems in Middle East, di ba? Much too many. Tsaka hindi niya inasikaso, you've got Kerry, who's not a specialist in Asia. He's specialist more for Bangladesh and Pakistan in that side. And yet, he says they care for what's going on. Anong status dyan? Ikaw, Jan?
Alam mo, you have to understand China. China historically may 5,000 years of history. Wala pa mga Kastila, di ba? That's why sinabi na Magellan discover the Philippines, mali yun. Okay? Ang China kasi, nagtataka sila mismo sa ginagawa ng presidente natin. When he visit China in the second year, di paglabas niya, nagbigay yung China 6-point-something billion economic aid. Dollar, ha? Paglabas niya, galit naman siya sa China. Di ba?
Niya.
Oh, kaya nagtataka ng China, bakit ganyan? Eh, Saba pinamimigay nyo. Malampay, you give away for 10%. Okay? Yung mga mineral, 2% lang naman royalty. Samantala kami, ang China, during the time of Deng Xiaoping, nag-offer 50-50. Joint venture. Wala ilalabas ang pera ng Pilipinas.
50-50.
Bakit hindi tayo pumayag? Maraming question eh. Tapos historically, hindi naman nakipag-away ang China sa Pilipinas. Kaya lang pag upo ni Noynoy, nagbago yung temper eh. You look at Marcos. There was a time Marcos has to go to, he sent email back to Mao Zedong para makipag-usap para huminto yung insurgency in New People's Army. Look at Ramos, look at GMA, look at ERAP. Iba itong presidente natin. Kaya nagtataka sila bakit. Hindi nila maintindihan anong pagkukulang ang pagkakamali ng China sa Pilipinas. Now, kaya ang China nagagalit kasi ang daming Chinese fishermen hinuhuli sa South China Sea. Di ba? The last time hinuli yung Siam na Chinese fishermen, tapos may nakita mga pawikan, nakulong pa yung mga Chinese fishermen na multa pa ng 40+ million. Okay?
Alam mo ba si Jaryo yan?
You remember the Taiwanese?
Okay.
Nagkaroon ng takbuhan, okay,
nakabulan.
nakabulan, tapos binaril ng 50 caliber.
Correct.
Okay, namatay yung Taiwanese.
Correct.
Actually, ang maraming fishermen nagreklamo kasi they were talking to Filipino fishermen on the sea. And they buy kung ano nahuhuli ng mga
They buy
Filipino.
the fish from them pa.
Binili sa mga Pilipino. You remember in Taiwan Strait, sabi ng isang Filipino fisherman they earn 500,000 3 months. But just by trading lang sila nanguhuli, binibenta ng Taiwan. So ang point ko parating kong sinasabi, who created that tinatawag na unsinkable carrier ngayon? Yung island na yan. It was created by Noynoy. Kakaaway-away mo sa China, napikon sa'yo, sige, anong gagawin mo sa amin? Nagtayo na kami. We have to consider yung bilateral. Okay, bakit bilateral? India sa China minsan
Bilateral sila ngayon.
Nag-away sila minsan, nagbakbakan, di ba? So nag-uusap ang China sa Pilipinas, China sa India. China gave India $300 billion business. That is equivalent to almost 14 billion at 14 trillion peso na business. South Korea, 150 billion dollars. Almost 7 trillion. Di ba? Tapos yung Brazil lately, 50 billion. Why don't we sit down and share the bounty of the sea? Okay. Yung nanggagatong yung Amerikano magaling, binenta tayo ng barko. Wala namang accessories.
Hindi, buti lumutang nga, no?
Oh, ang ibig sabihin namin, pasalamat ka, binenta kita di ba? Ang sinasabi ko nito, yung nanggagatong, magbabakbakan tayo. Ang nakakatakot ginagawa itong presidente natin. Nakalimutan mo, pinapasubo mo buong Pilipinas sa away. Okay, yung 200,000 natin overseas workers sa Hong Kong, yung mga importation natin, di ba? If we talk, yung somebody, yung magaling na political advisor kay Presidente, baguhin mo.
Hindi yung Amerikano head sa Foreign Affairs?
Yun, si De
Si
Rosario.
US citizen, pangalan nun?
De Rosario.
Del Rosario, di ba? Si Amboy. Oh, yeah, sige.
Kung baguhin mo yung strategy mo, makipag-usap ka, kung biglang
Na maayos,
maayos yan, binigay tayo, let's say, $20 billion of business, 1 trillion yun.
Correct.
Ayaw ba natin yun? Samantalang nagbigay ng $50 million ang Amerikano sa Yolanda, tuwang-tuwa na ka, palakpakan tayo, pucha, ikaw pinakamagaling. You're my friend. Di ba? Well, China, despite yung away ng presidente,
See, Johnny's point of view on the China intrusion, like everybody else sa Facebook, galit lahat sa China. Galit na galit eh. You have a different approach. And rightfully so, it's a good point of view.
di lang yun. You go back to Chinese history. Once upon a time, China was controlled by 8 big countries.
It never went out to subjugate.
Opium War, yung pinakamalaking drug lord, England,
Europe.
binaboy
Europe
pong
came in.
China. Di ba?
Correct.
If you watch the 55 Days of in Peking,
I remember that movie.
Charlton Heston,
Charlton
pag
Heston.
pinanood mo yan, don't look at me as a Chinese at Johnny Chang. Look at China.
Correct.
Hawak na yung espada.
Correct.
Lumalaban sa kanyon, lumalaban sa baril.
Ah.
Diyan sila katapang. You remember na North Korean War? Di ba? Lumusot sila. Human wave.
Human wave.
Lumaban sila sa Vietnam.
Ah.
Lumusot din sa Vietnam in 1979.
But they didn't colonize.
They don't colonize. Hindi ugali
Balik.
na. Hindi
Alis
ugali.
kagad.
Actually, if you go back to history, Okinawa is part of China.
Ah.
Vietnam is also part of China. But nahati yan eh. Ako naman sinasabi ko,
You mean they had a Noy-Noy for a president in China?
no.
No. Kasi nahati na natin. Parang BBL eh. Sige.
During that time.
Kasi, yun nga, baka may ancestor siya na nakaupo, di ba? Pinamimigay yung bayan. Di
Pero
ba?
he has Chinese blood eh.
Oh, obvious
Okay,
ba?
Oo. Tapos, ang nakakatakot dyan,
Lahat naman tayo ata, biski ikaw eh.
alam mo, nakakalungkot,
Siya ang
Harry.
expert sa
Harry,
China, China
nakakalungkot,
issue.
alam bakit? Nandun yung US 7 fleet. Bakit di sila humarang kung matapang sila? Pinagsasabong tayo lahat eh.
Parang gano'n.
Parang magkapit-bahay tayo, pagising sumaga, nakikita mo ang China.
Nagbabanatan.
Useless
Tayo.
eh. Why don't we use a different approach?
Well, I'm for a different approach because to begin with, we don't have the muscle to even stand up to it. The intelligent thing to do is really bilateral talks. I don't understand how this president really refused to work with China and, if anything, fight them and then we ally with America. Now, it's okay also to ally with America. But don't ally with just one. You have to ally with everybody in the region or sa battleground magiging sa atin.
Yun ang si Marcos. He talked to everybody. Di ba? Yun ang right approach. May vision
Hindi kaya nagkamali kayong bata ka. Inaway mo si Marcos. Ngayon, tignan mo, nagdudusa tayo. Kasi kay Aquino ngayon tayo.
Harry, I'm an Atom member original. I supported his mother. Okay?
Okay.
In August of 1986, I went inside Malacanang and I came out. I told all my friends, history will become very kind to Marcos. That was 1986, August.
It's now becoming kind already. Ikaw, point of view dyan, point of view.
Tungkol sa China, at least harapan sila na nag-i-intrude sa ating territory. At least alam natin ang balak nila. Pero dito sa BBN,
Creeping,
Malaysia,
underground din na.
being a
Bastusan,
a third-party mediator, parang ito'y hindi mo makikita ang tunay nilang balak. That unless ma-expose at makita natin ang totoo nilang balak. Look, ang Malaysia is composed of different states. Alam natin yan. And once a BBL would be passed, it would create another state. A state within a state. Okay, this state, the BBL, or
Kukunin na
could
nila,
apply
To them.
to Malaysia
To
as
Malaysia.
to become another state of Malaysia.
Another part of the federation.
Another part of the federation. It could happen. Maaaring ko konti nakakaalam niyan. Pero ako nakikita ko na sa dulo, maaaring makuha ng Malaysia itong teritoryo ng Bangsamoro.
Alam mo, Hari, in the Chinese diplomats, even the political analysts, mga analysts, they are confused.
Bakit? Why it's going on?
Kami inaaway nyo. We have 3 million soldiers. Ang MILF is only 10,000. Di mo inaaway, pinatay na yung 44 sa 44. Ano ba yan?
Doesn't make sense.
It
Ano?
doesn't, walang logic eh. Paano aawayin mo yung sa kabila? Eh, ang dami niyang dami.
So why is Pinoy doing it?
Di ako si Pinoy. Huwag mo itanong sa akin. Nakakalungkot yun. Nakakaya. Because I will not do that thing. I will make friends yung kapitbahay ko. Babaguhin ko yung strategy ko. Di ba? Eh kung MRT, LRT, hindi naman kayang ayusin. Paano mong ayusin bang bagay? Di ba? Yun ang katotohanan eh.
Actually, it's not Pinoy alone. It's with his cohorts, yung mga trapos na nasa paligid niya. Sabi ko nga, money and politics goes hand in hand. Hindi makakaya na Pinoy
Pero
ito
this
na
is
wala
only
sa
a junior council presidency. The junior council cabinet lang naman to eh.
Si Pinoy ba nagtrabaho? Meron siya bang kooperasyon pinatakbo?
Wala. Never.
Meron ba siyang asawa?
Wala.
Meron ba siyang anak?
Well, there's a reason probably why.
Oh, yun nga. Ano tinitingnan? Kami, alam mo, Harry, you could get a branch manager of a bank and analyze what's happening in our country. Sino may sagot sila? This is simple. Management problem. You do not quarrel with your friend. Then,
You work it out.
work it out.
Especially if you know they're much bigger.
Oh,
Especially.
saka nagbibigay ng pera sa'yo, ayaw mo ba? May tumatangga
baliktad.
ka 50 million, ito billion bibigay sa'yo, tutulong sa all Filipino. Ano malay mo?
Ano kaya yung underlying reason? Ano kaya yung mas gusto niya? He likes Malaysians more than Chinese, but he's Chinese. He's more Chinese than Malaysian. No, but what is it?
I don't understand. Even I
Maybe it's time, Leon, to occupy Malacanang. Let's forget the COMELEC.
Well, actually, isa sa mga plano namin yan eh. Pero not now. Not now. Until there's time for these people in Malacanang to see the right path for our country.
Well, we know Pinoy and his cabinet are a danger to themselves. They are a clear and present danger. We have the elections hopefully coming up, and hopefully with no longer with the PICOS. We only have 3 minutes left, and we have to close the show. Where do you think we should head with so far? I mean, sino mga nagpipresenta? We don't have to name them all, pero which way kaya? Ikaw, more or less lang. Ay, ikaw muna, Johnny.
Ako kasi ganito eh. I look at the past performance. Hindi ko nininiwala na binabati ko sumukorap.
So si Binay na. If you're talking experience, Binay na. Binay management.
Hindi lang si Binay yung sinasabi ko. Pwede si Bongbong Marcos, okay? Meron
pwede
yung
rin, no?
merong historical sila,
may
di ba?
history, may
Kasi
history.
ito yung punto ko eh. Across the board, pag pinag-usapan ng corruption, makikita mong sweldo ng mayor is 50,000. 5 bodyguard niya.
How can you afford
okay.
it?
Congressman, 100,000.
Ah.
Senator, 100,000. Tingnan mo yung kotse yung dala nila.
Oh, grabe.
Di ba? Okay. Go to the president. He only special, 150,000 sweldo niya. Pero the rest, ang perks siguro galing sa Malacanang. Pero how could you let somebody with so small salary running this whole country, tapos makikita mo yung background niya, lalaking bahay. Kaya naman meron kami parating siya, bakit si Binay lang? Kung gusto mo pag-usapan, lahat na openly.
Kung naman hindi kakasya sa Muntinlupa.
Yan na lang, sa akin lang ang kailangan natin, pag-usapan natin lahat. Kung nagmamalinis
tama rin yan, tama rin yan.
Parang senator, yung pork barrel nila lahat. Yung
correct.
dap nila.
Huli ka agad.
Huli naman lahat yan eh. Pero bakit
Very quickly.
Ako, we in our advocacy group, gusto namin system change. So we change the system and then we change the people running the system. Palit lahat kami. Walang matitira na dating congressman walang matitira sa pwesto ng mga dating senador. Try namin to, pero we'll try our best na magkaroon ng system change and moral recovery programs para makita ng taong bayan na walang karapat-dapat sa namumuno ngayon na makabalik sa pwesto.
We're going to have to end the show. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the biggest tests in the ASEAN integration is the problem of the Rohingya. The Rohingya that comes from Myanmar, who is part of Asia. They are on a boat lost at sea looking for a country to reside because they're persecuted in where they belong. Then we also have the issue of the boat people in Europe where no one wants to take them. Saan ka ba papunta? Pinoy, his cabinet, seems like they are on that boat, looking for a country when they already had one, letting go of one that has already been stable, cutting it apart, balkanizing it. It seems we are on a ship where the rudder no longer works, and we're going to get hit by typhoons, and this is going to really happen. Surreal as it is, it's become the reality. Perception that it seems, when it starts to bite you and it starts to hurt you, then you know it's for real. Maraming salamat po, and hope you've enjoyed our program. Maraming salamat. You are what you watch.